Well, oh yay! Finally, we're back. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your patience with my tech issues. I apologize for that. I've been sitting over here watching it do spinny, 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 and I'm like, please don't do this to me. Hello there, everybody. It's been a while. Welcome back to the Soul Bard Collective. So, midweek sip, shall we? I actually am going to be at 4-State Comic-Con in Hagerstown, Maryland this weekend. I'm going to be asking people who are visiting me there to add to it. And there's going to be a way for not only people in this audience, but in other audiences I have elsewhere to go ahead and catch up with and visit and so on. So, welcome to your midweek sip. We're going to go ahead and pick 1, 2, 3, 4 sips from the cup of positivity and see if it builds a conversation for us. So, create a life you can't wake up to. We just got this the other day in live sprints for my main channel, Jenna the Soul Writer. For the first time in a long time, I'm starting to really question if I'm done progressing into the life I want to wake up to or not. It's better. I got a glimpse recently of how much better life really is. 2 years ago, I was waiting to wake up to the life of today. And I know that in 2 years more is what I'm waiting to wake up to now. There's always this question of, am I rushing? And it's come up with other creatives in my group lately. Am I not celebrating enough? Sometimes it doesn't feel like I celebrate at all. I'm waking up every morning. I'm enjoying the life. But there's more. There's always more. Frank Herbert tells us there is no real ending. It's just the place where you stop the story. And that's kind of true. I mean, if you're waking up every single morning, it's like when I'm dreaming, am I somewhere else? That's a little woo-woo to ask that for some people, but that is something I've always wondered since I was a little kid. Where am I really when I'm asleep? Or is what I'm remembering while I'm here somebody else's dream? Kind of akin to like playing a simulated video games, a la The Sims. You know, is there someone clicking my plumb bob on the top of my head and telling me what to go, where to do? Thank you, Jess. Yes, tech gremlins, please be gone. So there is no real ending. It's just the place where you stop the story. So if that's the case, I can dictate the life I want to wake up to every single morning simply by preparing my save file before I go to bed, if you get that meaning. I used to play a lot of Japanese role-playing, text-based role-playing games. Final Fantasy, if you're thinking like early Nintendo, PlayStation 1, little PlayStation 2, because Dirge of Cerberus, please remake Vinny's game. You kicked Vincent Valentine out of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Please remake his game. Thank you. Anyway, there is no real ending. There's just a place where you can stop the story. So why not prepare your save file the night before? What are you doing before you go to bed to prepare yourself for the next day? I used to be much better about doing chores before I went to bed when we lived at the apartment a year ago. I used to be a lot better about cleaning that place in general. The house is literally double the size. And adjusting has been interesting. No real ending to chores. Pause is okay. Where am I in that story? Lady Gaga says, do not allow people to dim your shine because they are blinded. Tell them to put some sunglasses on. This reminds me of something I was just overhearing a friend of mine, Jamie. He is a local tarot reader here in Hagerstown, Maryland at La Lune Metaphysical, and he has a tarot channel called mytarot.org. And he was literally just saying earlier today about the Eight of Swords and how in that card, the person really isn't trapped. When you're looking at the picture front on, you see that the swords are behind them. They're not really tightly bound. So if they really wanted to, they could undo the ropes, take off the blindfold, and walk away from danger if they so chose to. Telling someone to put their sunglasses on isn't really the same, but it's kind of telling them, you know, hey, I dropped my mic. Not my fault you're blinded. Not my fault you're blinded. It's my story. I can pivot whenever I want. I can make this the masterpiece I want it to be. Because rock bottom is built more for heroes than privilege. Rock bottom's not a privilege. Anyone who thinks sitting at rock bottom is a privilege, they're wrong. I'm saying that as to give you a little bit of a background about me. My dad was a disabled Vietnam veteran. My parents were in their 40s when I was born. And they already had kids in their 20s. So I've seen my parents go to rock bottom because of an oops baby, or at least that's what they tried to say. Had they told us earlier on in life to care more about waking up with the correct save file, I probably would have been a little bit more prepared for the changes. And I don't mean that technologically speaking. I mean that in a very, my family was, you should be seen, not heard, preferably not seen because you're a female. And that's not a privilege to be forced to live there. Do some people choose to live there? Yeah, but it's it's a hard choice. It's not a privilege. And a different kind of hard is choosing to go upward, to move onward, to be stronger, to create a life you can't wake up to. Indeed. It's forever something we try to do as best as we can, when we can. So you got to take care of yourself. See you in sprints here in a little bit. Sans tech gremlins, I hope.